Welcome to Godkiller Last Hope. My name is Zoe Williams, and as the dramaturg for this production, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the viciously divine world of The Cradle. Last Hope is a dark fantasy series that deals with heavy topics, and content warnings will be shared before the show begins. Last Hope is performed live and in studio by Connie Chang and C. Thomas. Previously on Godkiller Last Hope, Litany and Tian Shung hold back an entire army. Litany learns a new way of fighting, a mortal way. The greatest challenge comes in the form of General Zhong, an aggressive cultivator who replaces Prince Wu after his defection. General Zhong aims a deadly weapon at Tian Shung, but Litany takes the blow for her. As General Zhong retreats, Tian Shung rushes Litany to a medical tent. During their recovery, the rebels celebrate their victory and express their gratitude for Litany, who has never been thanked before. Tian Shung invites Litany to finish their recovery in a nearby hot spring. But when they arrive, she's nowhere to be found. A full recap of this and previous episodes can be found at transplanerrpg.com. And now, the game begins.
Godkiller Last Hope is a dark fantasy actual play series that deals with serious and potentially triggering topics. Viewer discretion is advised. Content warnings for this episode include fantasy violence, war, trauma, grief, interpersonal conflict, familial conflict with physical confrontation, blood, body horror, gore, alcohol and drunkenness, and kidnapping.
Prince Wu Zido, the screams of your broken, fallen men still echo in your head, even as the fire from the camp dances merrily against the walls of your tent. Tell me, how do you sneak out of camp?
Quietly, silently, like a mouse scurrying around a temple while others pray, while they appreciate what they have. Sneaking out would imply that people necessarily care that you are there. At least I don't think people care that I'm there. So I leave my empty tent and I walk right out as everyone else is enjoying the victory.
I don't think anyone notices you. You are careful, you stick to the shadows, you don't linger, you don't draw attention to you. And Zido, you've been with these rebels for weeks now, and they were, of course, at first suspicious, angry, wary of you, even though you were able to pass through that protective divine veil. That did assuage their concerns about your malicious intents, and you, of course, abandoning your weapons at their request did assuage those concerns even further. But as the days turned to weeks, and as your help became evident, became authentic, as the truth of it rang through every body in that rebel camp, they began to welcome you. How does that welcome sit in your body?
Like a rock, like a pit. Not because the welcome is heavy, but because I don't think I can hold it for very long. I mean, it's because of me that they don't get to stay in their original village. It's because of my father that someone that should have had a young life had to lead so many people. So I hold it in front of them. I try not to be impolite because these people, they care about the future of our kingdom, but when I walk away, I can't hold it for long.
No, you have to put it down somewhere, and I think you hope to find it back there, with the screams, with the battered bodies, with the men that he left behind to perish. And is that why you sneak out of camp? What drives you?
Well, responsibility is one driving factor. Responsibility is the only thing I've ever really had.
Purpose?
Purpose. Yes. Purpose, responsibility, care. If I can keep caring for the people that I've hurt, then I can also care for the people that he's hurt. The ones that don't know what they should be doing yet.
And so it sits not heavy inside you, but in a place where you hope to be able to put it down. This void, this stone. And it takes you the entire night, almost the entire celebration, to make it back to those hilly woods where that battle took place. And tell me what you're hoping to find, what you're hoping to do there.
Yes. Well, my hope, what I wish, is to find those injured soldiers, the ones that he leaves every single time. The soldiers that I told him are important, that every person in our kingdom is important, our soldiers and our people. I hope to find the wounded.
And we find you there now, and they're still there. Crumpled bodies in the ground, moaning and groaning. Some of them have fallen silent. You rush to those first. Check for a pulse, check for vital organs if they're still together. Some of their breaths have stilled. Others are salvageable. They can be healed. They can be saved. And so you kneel among the wounded, among these crumpled bodies, the moans resonating every now and then from the shades of trees. You start to help. And that's when a shadow falls over you, behind you, muffled by magic. A magic you've never been able to wield, but for some reason came to him so easily. And there is a hard, sharp, painful thud against the back of your head. You hit the ground like a sack of grain. When you come to, it's only been a few seconds, but you've been turned back onto your back, and even through your hair, you can feel the hot, matted mess of blood. Not enough to kill you, but enough to daze you, make you wounded, weak. And you see General Xiong. He stands above you, club in hand, his horse leashed to a trunk nearby. He looks down at you with those sharp, hungry eyes. They are glinting with disgust. The same disgust he's always gazed upon you with, but because he was always your reporting officer, he's never let it fully show. But now that he is commanding general of your father's entire army, he lets the mask drop. There's unfiltered hatred in his visage. If you were not the blood of King Wu himself, I would break your head open for being a weak, traitorous coward.
Do it then. Strike me down like you've always wanted to, General.
I need you to connect with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's unintentional, or maybe it's a kind of connection that's not like intimate and soft.
Yeah.
It is still intimate though, right? It's just not loving.
Because we've known each other for so long.
Yes, he was kind of an uncle figure in a lot of ways. This man in his 40s, his 50s as a cultivator.
He's always been there.
Always been there. Always been so loyal to your father. Has always seen you as weak, not worthy of the throne. So I think, why don't you tell me what the intimate thing is that you reveal to him in this moment?
The intimate thing is that I have always known that he despises my very existence. Yet I've shown him love anyway.
Somehow that hurts more than if you didn't. I love that. So I will reveal a fragment of their pain as they answer the other. What? My own game making me complicate this horrible man? Let's do it. So the questions are, what common ground do we share? And what still divides us? So which of these would you like to answer? It's juicy either way.
I think I'm gonna answer what common ground.
Okay.
Yeah. Zido looks at this general, this almost hateful uncle figure in my life. And I say, with a sadness, but a sternness, we both clearly care about Twin. We have followed the king for, well, my whole life, and for you, as long as I've been alive, maybe even longer. I thought this was what I needed to do. In fact, it was what I needed to do. If I wasn't there, I think so many more people would be dead. But you've also been there. Even though it was through that questionable magic, even if it was through cruel tactics, you've always fought for Twin. Just like me.
Those eyes. That expression you're looking at me with. I know you're trying to extend me that sympathy. I know a part of you thinks that I'm monstrous, that I'm a bad man. But I'll tell you this, Princeling. Yes, I do care about Twin. I am not some selfish beast who just kills and allows people to be slaughtered for no reason. I do this for Twin. The king has a vision, the same vision that has steered our kingdom for 11 generations. Our people must be strong. We must be armed. We must have might. His family, your family, you are descended from the speakers, the very first mortals who served the god kings of the devouring. Do you know the sacrifices they had to make, the hard choices that were forced upon them to keep their people alive? The gods abandoned us! And we are better off for it. At least now we can make our own choices. And we, in Twin, we choose to be strong. Your family chooses to be strong.
Then why do we keep losing?
He starts to raise his club as if violence will answer that, make you shut up, wipe that insolent look off your face, and then he...
You still call me Prince. You have so much respect for tradition. Yes, our ancestors gave up a lot. And so have we. But you have to understand, you have to see. My father is failing us. The burden of responsibility that you feel is not one that you should have to carry alone. It's not one that I should have to carry alone. That's why I left. There are people in our kingdom that come together, that care. We don't have to fight against them.
You're right. We have nothing to prove. Your king, your father has nothing to prove to you. I have nothing to prove to you.
So join us. So put down your club. Violence is not the only thing that you can wield.
He lowers his club as you reach out to him, your head still bleeding, you still reeling. And in that pause, Zido, that brilliant pause, you see a man at a crossroads, the same crossroads you found yourself at so many times, your father or your people, your heart or his heart. And General Xiong makes a decision that is fully his own, with all the information he has at hand. Insolent fucking brat! And he hits you across the face and you reel, you see stars this time, you fall onto the ground and he's speaking, he's spitting at you. How dare you talk back to me? I raised you, I knew you when you were a boy. You think you know the world better than I do? You think you know the world better than your father does? And in this moment, Zido, you can feel his magic rising in the leaves that surround you, a surge of pure fury. You've seen him like this before. Unadulterated rage, righteousness that he thinks he gets to put on those weaker than him. Who do you call to for help?
Doubled over in pain, bleeding from the head, seeing stars. Zido tense his hands together and prays and thinks of the one person that defies all odds every single time, the one person that could take down my father, that could take down the general. I would like to pray to the great sage.
Tian Shung, yes! The hero you admire. The hero you wish you were. And as you pray, what words escape your lips and your mind?
Violence is a tool that some people use carelessly. But never you. I need you.
And Zido, impossibly, as the club comes up again, you sense a presence, cresting from underneath the hill, bounding over the shadows. Tiansheng, the great sage. And on that, Litany, please return. The table is ready for your presence once more. And Zido, thank you for your perspective.
Thank you.
Litany, welcome back to the game. You see through the eyes of the great sage, Tiansheng, and through her eyes you drop into her body. It's as though you are her, not exactly, a passenger in her mind, a visitor, a witness to what is about to unfold, a memory. You see her at the hot spring, bathed in mist, leaning over, using her magic to bid buds to bloom. As her hands go over the unopened buds of these bushels, you see them open up in a flutter of crimson, like droplets of blood greeting you. The smell of it hits her, and you smell it through her nose. Such a strong nose, such strong senses. How does she stay focused all the time? The mortal realm is so alive, and yet through her eyes, she takes it all in with joy, anticipation, nerves. There's nervousness inside of her, a heady drunkenness to dull it, to give her courage, but the nerves are there nonetheless. She takes off her sash and puts it exactly where you had just picked it up moments ago, but it feels different in her calloused hands, familiar in a way that you hope to know one day. Yes, this is the truth, Litany. She places the sash down, and just before she starts to undo the rest of her clothes, her ear perks, and all of the ambient noises of the forest, the crickets, the birds, the leaves rustling, the breeze, it all fades away as she focuses on a prayer addressed to her. Words about violence, words about power, words about choice. and she recognizes the voice a little too well. Prince Wu. The first impulse is a desire to help. The second one is a bitterness about everything he did to her, to Mudan village. But she knows which one is stronger, and she knows what she must do before her body even does it. What she's always done, what her purpose is, to help. And Tian Shung steps forward, and in that single step, a cultivation technique that a crane high in the mountains taught her. A 7-league step. A distance that would have taken a mortal an entire night to travel, she clears with a single foot forward, and then she's there. Back at the battlefield, the crumpled bodies of fallen soldiers all around, moaning, crying, some of them attended to, and the back of that general, his horse leashed to a tree nearby, club in hand, a bloodied Prince Wu at his feet, and Tian Shung's staff is out, volition is forward, and it comes down on the general before she can even think. And the general, as a cultivator as well, quickly raises his club to intercept. It is a second too slow. Tian Shung has always been stronger, is league stronger, older, more experienced, but he catches it. And there's a clang, and Tian Shung staggers, even as she says the words tumbling out of her mouth in a mush. "You put that thing away! Step away from the prince!" And she and you and Prince Wu and the general realize what's awry all at the same time. She's drunk. She is so drunk the heavens can smell it. She is so drunk that it makes the tides of blood, the heady iron stench of that crimson river, feel weak in response. And the general pivots away from the prince, who's slipping in and out of consciousness, and laughs at this golden opportunity as this great sage stumbles, catches herself on her staff, and then almost hits the ground. "Wait, you get back here where I can hit you, you terrible fucking gah!" As she stumbles forward, he catches her again. "Oh my great sage, the fates bless me once more. Not only did this pitiful prince fall for the trap I laid for him, I knew he would come back. He always came back for his men. That was one of the weakest strategies he ever made us do. But you're drunk, and that makes you weak." And the club comes down, it hits Tian Shung, she catches it. Her staff clangs against her chest. It doesn't hurt her, but it does make her reel back a little. "Look, you know what? Drunk to the hells and heavens back I am, I can still kick your fucking ass." She twirls volition and jabs forward. And if she weren't drunk, perhaps even if she were, but just 2 cups lighter, she would have punched his stomach so hard he would have seen the infinite stars reflected in that pool below. But she is 2 cups too deep. The jab comes forward a little too slow, a millisecond delayed. He blocks it with his club, is able to bring it up, and then he turns around, reaches into that cape, that furred cape of his, and pulls out a gift, just like the bolt, just like the hand crossbow from Tianli. A circlet. It almost looks like a crown, but it's much too plain. It is gold, however, just like the bolt was, and he slips it over Tian Shung's forehead, and you feel it clench around her head, and you feel something horrific. Her cultivation powers, not draining from her, but being sucked into the pit of her soul and locked away. She no longer has access to the river, access to her magic. She's just a woman now, a strong fighter, yes, but not imbued with spiritual strength. And that's not all. The circlet tightens. It tightens and tightens and tightens until it all goes black. And the last thing you hear is the general's voice saying, "2 eagles with 1 arrow. Oh, I am blessed by the divines tonight." And Litany, you wake. Tian Shung is not there. General Xiong is not there. Prince Wu is not there. You are alone. This has just happened. What do you do? "Rui!" And we cut to Rui's tent, the general's tent. We see her pacing a tight circle. poring over the map of the city, then looking back up at you as you finish recounting your tale. She shakes her head, anxiety, concern, worry, determination in her face. And as she deliberates about what to do, not only Tian Shung, the protector, but Prince Wu, their informant. Why, Litany? Why did you go to Ruyi instead of chasing down the river seal, which is your key to the Ascension Gate, immediately?
She's not a river seal.
Isn't she?
No.
Then what is she?
She's immortal.
Why did you hesitate?
I didn't hesitate. I don't hesitate.
Maybe. Maybe not. And Ruyi clears her head and speaks. This was a devastating blow. Not just Prince Wu, but Tiansheng as well. And more than that, my friend. And Zido, I was getting to know him as well. This isn't good. Regardless, not all is lost. Though the general is returning and on his horse, which is fast, it will take him at least until daybreak to reach the capital. One man. And even if the king learns about our plans, it will take at least several days for him to recall the armies he sent out. We still have time to carry out our plan. 箭在弦上，不得不发. The arrow is already upon the bowstring, it must be fired. A plan is already in motion.
Then let me fly ahead.
You? Alone?
I don't need anyone else.
No, you don't. Take a horse, the fastest one, my personal steed.
I don't need a horse.
Then how will you?
I'll move much faster without it.
I'll trust you to get it done. Please, make sure Tian Shung and Zido are safe.
I will. And return to you.
We will be there by dusk of the next day. Go. And thank you. May the winds of change be forever at your back.
And may hope ring across every peak.
Sounding like one of the winds already. Now quick, fast. And you go. Litany, we find you on the outskirts of this rebel encampment, alone, with a sense of fervor at your back. The orders from Ruyi are already ringing out and people are starting to pack up, they're starting to gear up, they're starting to mobilize themselves for an earlier trek than anticipated toward the capital of Tiansheng. How are you readying yourself for your journey throughout the night?
Litany walks to the edge of camp first. The sun is setting. It's been setting. It's gone. The moon is still here. They learned that recently. It's called the moon. And every night it changes in a cycle. Isn't that beautiful?
Everything here is beautiful. You said so yourself.
Maybe. Maybe not. Either way, for beauty is or it is not. A horse is not as fast as the steed they are going to call. They left their flock behind. It's very likely that at least one of them, maybe, surfaced, tread through the shattered river with their broken soul all the way up here.
Which steed is it?
It's the Dao Shou.
How do you summon him?
The same way I always have. The whistle. A call. A sound in their throat that's never been quite right. A sound that's somewhere between mortal and god, or demon, or monster. It sounds like a whistle, but if you can hear it right, it sounds like a song.
And the song comes humming out of your mouth And as it does, wind, mist, magic swirls around your feet. It rises like smoke and covers your eyes, and when it dissipates, crouched in front of you is the Dao Shou, the man-faced tiger, the tiger-bodied man. And the last time you looked into the Dao Shou's eyes and face, you saw a mask, an illusion, a mirror. What do you see in that mirror now?
Myself. I've always seen myself. In that mirror is the thing. But this time, unlike all the other times, I want to see what the Dao Shou sees. What do they know?
They see you. Ta sees you. Seeing him, seeing you. And in this infinite hall of mirrors that is also called a soul, you understand something about yourself in this moment that feels new, but also feels buried, excavated, an act of necromancy which has always been Tigu's power, which has always been Longdu's power. Twins who were never meant to be separated, twins who were doomed to always be separated, broken apart, shattered like the sister realms. And in this moment, you understand with crystal clarity that you are making a choice for the first time in your unlife.
When I indulge a desire that pulls me from my purpose, I enact my mortal trigger and I clear all strain. Well played. I'm getting good at this.
It's in your nature. That's what this story is about if you know how to listen. Clear all strain for me, please, Litany. Let's wipe the board clean. And let's center you. The Dao Shou lowers its front two claws and allows you onto its back. You see a spine of thorns rippling down, down, down its body, ending in a tufted tail that can shoot poison, if only told how. And tell me, how do you ride the Dao Shou?
Like they were born to it. Since they've been within part of the Dao Shou, they understand. They understand how its mortal face is not a mirror or a mask, it just is. They know where its bones are, they know how to move their body in its way, and they make themselves part of it still. They are part of it still, they've always been part of it still. Made from that river of blood that connects all of the underworld. The waters that birthed them.
What is the river of blood but an artery? What are you but its heart? It thrums in your ears. You get on the Dao Shou, and you go. Riding the Dao Shou is like being one with the wind. It feels like the embodiment of Zephyr. You rush through the night, hills flit past you, shadows, trees, mountains, valleys, towns, darkness. The moon is your only constant companion. It follows you, and even then it turns gradually through the sky. A regular person on a regular steed would have taken 2 days to reach the capital. You take only a single night. And that's what you need. You need to take advantage of this moment because the Dao Shou will not survive until daybreak. It is only here for as long as your mother's domain stretches across the mortal realm, as long as darkness blankets this place. And then the mist will recede and so will it. but you put its arrival to good use. And right before dawn peaks over the horizon, right as the darkness is starting to show hints of light underneath its surface, you see Tiansheng, the capital of Twin. Now, you have seen the Necromantic Palace, and you have been to the City of Heaven. This is your first time feasting your eyes on a proper mortal city. Not a hamlet, not a little village, not a town, a city. And yet, it is barely the size of an underworld district. A single neighborhood, nestled in a valley against that silver river, which runs through the entirety of Twin, a river city, with walls, yes, to keep people out, to keep people in. You see it from the top of a hill, and then you go down. There are fires lit, guards on the ramparts, but not very many, not nearly enough. And as you approach the gates, how do you launch a one-man siege of the capital?
One man, one tiger siege.
Excuse me, pardon me, yes.
The impulse is there. Show no mercy, know no pain, kill or be killed. It's always there. It's a part of them. But there are more parts of them now. And the part connected to the Dao Shou runs. It runs, it runs, it runs, and they have known exactly which direction to go. They're not from Yaolan, neither is the Dao Shou. But both of them, intrinsically linked to one another, they both know where she is, their second chance. The great sage, Tian Shung. They know where to go. And they follow it. There's no need for guards if they can pass through walls as a ghost. There's no need to break through any ramparts if they could simply climb.
I love that. You know what? I would love for you to wield a power in this moment. Not yours, not a power you've seized from a god, which always just goes straight to your queen, but the Dao Shou's power. So roll 2d6 for me. I think this is our first time using this move.
Do I add anything?
Yes, add one for each true statement. You've done this specific act before perfectly.
No, I have not.
You're desperate for this to work. Mark 1 strain.
No. No, desperation. It's not desperation. It's just the simple truth of being.
You know what? I love that, and I would adjudicate this as you can still mark 1 strain, not out of desperation, but out of effort to maintain that connection with the Dao Shou if you want to add that +1.
I'll take it.
Great, awesome. You're close to a shrine, lair, or a domain of the god you took this power from. Well, you're literally, the Dao Shou is not a god, it's a monster, but we can fudge the rules that I wrote. So yeah, you're literally on top of, you're riding it, so that's a 2, +2.
Okay.
That's a 4. Wait, that's a 6, that's a miss. That's really interesting, actually, I think. Technically on a miss, your power sputters and your enemies seize on your weakness. Suffer 2 strain instead to achieve the full effect before they can react.
Okay, hear me out. In Wield a Power, one of the things is you've wielded this power before. Not technically with the Dao Shou, but when Litany killed Suisian, they used their power.
That's right, and you used this move too.
And I did.
You did actually, yeah.
So could I add that +1 and make it a mixed success because I'm very cute and you love me?
How fucking funny would it be if I said no? Connie homophobic Chang. Yes, you know what? Yes, I'll give it to you. It feels right in this moment. And that might be our first just hit that you get in a long time. So on a hit, you do it. You just do it. You do exactly what you set out to do. You phase through walls. You go through the people of the city, those late night owls, right? The 24-hour bars, the crowds staggering from one tavern to another. The guards, eventually, when they hear the screams from passersby, from mortals of a ghost rider upon a ghost tiger with a man's face. And eventually when the guards come, pouring out of the alleyway, forming a wall in front of you, right in front of the palace itself, made of wood and stone. They raise their crossbows, they shout for you to stop, they fire the bolts, and the bolts just pass right through you. And the Dao Shou has an idea. You feel it flowing through Ta as Ta leaps into the air over the heads of the guards who raise their crossbows up with slack jaws and then lands with ethereal grace and then through the walls of the palace itself. And that's when dawn breaks. And as soon as the Dao Shou goes through the walls, you land on the floor.
I think the momentum carries Litany a few more steps through the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, until their feet hit the ground, solid once more, their connection to the Dao Shou severed for now. Never severed completely, but for now.
And it leaves the way it came, through mist.
And swirling out of this mist, at the base of this palace, if you could really even call it that, is Litany. And they're here. And they do what they do best. They fight their way in.
I think we see guards turning to face you in this courtyard, fully physical now, corporeal. You've surfaced through the closed doors of the gate to the royal courtyard. It's like a 四合院. So unlike a European palace or anything like that, it's a low series of connected buildings with open air courtyards and gardens between the main complexes. So the guards come pouring out of nearby buildings, swords drawn, and they rush you. And I just need to know one answer. Do you kill any of them?
No,
You tap them.
I tap them.
And then I think there's a moment where we hear a as the doors leading into the courtyard, leading into the palace itself, the throne room, where King Wu would presumably be. There's a moment where we see you push the doors open. The gates come out. And we see you limned by the light of the rising sun, haloing you in a perhelion of rosy crimson, like blood. You step over the threshold and into an open-air courtyard dappled with hawthorn trees and peach trees, all kinds of fruit trees. You see a low stone bridge arching over a bubbling brook. And on the other side of this courtyard, in front of the doors that lead into the throne room, you see him, General Xiong. He looks as you remember him. Hateful, hungry, large, burly, with magic radiating off of him, but not to the same extent as Tian Shung. His club is out, he was pacing, and then he turns and sees you, slams his club against his hand. I've been waiting for you, cultivator. Something about a ghost rider. So is that your magic then? The magic of the underworld. A dark path to tread. Not very noble. Nothing honorable in shadows and illusion, if you ask me.
Litany just walks.
That's terrifying. Okay.
They just walk all the way up to him. They don't need a club. They don't need a magic weapon. They just walk. And when they're close enough to hit, they look this general in the face, in the mirror. Yes. Yes, it is. Let me introduce you to the underworld.
And they push with your gauntleted hand. Okay, yes. So I'm gonna need you to inflict violence on this guy. Yeah. Okay. So roll 2d6 and add one for each true statement. They wish you harm. Yes, absolutely. You're desperate?
No.
I don't think so. Not at all. It's personal?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. He took Tian Shung.
Yes. And part of her soul is still with them. So yes, it is personal.
Excellent. Roll them bones. +2. Oh, that's an 11. 13. Okay, we've done this move a lot. You lose yourself to Righteous Fury. That makes sense in this situation. The GM will tell you the cost of your divinity. So, General Xiong fled from the fight when he saw that he could not beat you, could not beat Tian Shung. He saw you take the arrow, and now here you are, still alive. And you see something in his face as your punch goes up and he tries to intercept it with the club that betrays why he stayed and didn't run and flee again when reports of you storming through the city came out. It's not because he's so brave that he would defend the king to his final breath. If he had his own choice, he might have gone the sneaky route himself, despite what he said about hating sneakiness and deceit. Might have tried to take the king and leave, flee. No. The reason he stays is because he thinks he can outwit you. Because he saw your sacrifice as weakness. Because he saw your sparing of his mortal men as folly. And he thinks your blow will not kill him, even though it can. But you do. Litany, in this moment, you lose yourself to righteous fury and you kill General Xiong. How do you hit him? And how does he die?
Holy shit. Litany is not a stranger to violence in any way. If anything, it's been their closest companion, closer than Suesian, even closer than the flock, closer than their mother, Queen Tsigu, the first fallen, Lord of Death, beginning of the end, sovereign on low of the underworld, the silver Tsilian. Turns out having a cause to fight for, to choose to fight for, it's no small measure of power. And it breaks against General Xiong's chest in a single blow, all the way in and all the way out.
You punch through his chest?
Yeah.
There's an explosion of crimson, a cracking of bone, and you see his heart plume outward. It paints the white lilies of the orchard red. His face is still cracked open with hatred, with that impulse, with that condescension, that sneering display of you are weak. And then his eyes pale. He staggers. He looks at your hands, which are daubed with his blood, lowers his club, it drops, falls onto the ground. Tunk, tunk. He hits the ground on his knees, and he falls into the earth.
He's the first person Litany has ever chosen to kill. Really chosen to kill. I don't know if they understand the weight of it yet. They will one day.
You will. And how does this choice to kill him weigh differently from the choice to kill Suesian? How is it lighter?
Because in this moment, their purpose is not to kill the Emperor of Heaven, Longdu. Their purpose is to help people. And he dies.
Litany. A bold choice you've made. You feel something inside your sternum. Your heart? No. Your soul. You feel another crack, vein outward. It's been cracking this entire time. This is the first one you actually sense. It doesn't feel bad. It feels warm, like summer, like blood, like rain. And it feels hopeful. The doors to the throne room open, and out steps an attendant, a smiling, plain, congenial attendant who looks completely unsurprised and unbothered by the fallen form of General Xiong amidst the red dappled lilies. And she says, "Ah, you must be Master Litany. King Wu is waiting for you. Please, step inside."
Thank you so much for tuning in to Godkiller Last Hope. If you've been enjoying this series, please consider joining Transplanter's Patreon at patreon.com/transplanterrpg. It's the best way to support us for as little as $3 a month, so we can continue bringing great performances like this one. If you can't spare the funds, please consider leaving a positive review or comment, posting about us on social media, or sharing the show with a friend that you think will enjoy us. Thanks to the support of our audience, we are continually able to do this awesome work. And you can purchase the ash can of Godkiller RPG on itch.io/by CONNIE CHANG. The games for release will be published through Evil Hat Productions in 2025. And as always, our sponsors for this series are Frivolous Bear Studios and Hero Forge. Thank you for helping us create these powerful stories. And with that, our game comes to a close for now. We'll see you next time, right here on Transplanter RPG.